on a product that we have been waiting on the edge of our seat to see how this looks and how it plays out on the court. We're not going to get all the answers at the end of tonight, but we'll at least get some idea of what they're going to look like. And the fact that Suggs is out there, great news. I'm excited to see how all of this plays out.
Yeah, it's something that we've played the role of rebuilding team very well as fans. We went through our 7 stages of grief when they traded everybody away. And then we got to the place where we were ready to embrace the newness of what was really happening. And I truly do believe Orlando Magic fans, and I mean fans, I don't mean casual observers, but I truly do believe Orlando Magic fans have embraced this well, and they're excited. We're excited. I'm excited, to see what's coming next.
And I don't view this the same way that I view rebuilds in the past. This one, you can't look at something and say, well, because 10 years ago the team went through this, because 5 years ago the team was going through this, that now it's just another iteration of the exact same thing.
How many times have you started your weight loss journey? Don't give me that just because it happened before. This is the way it's going to happen this time.
But this one's different.
Yeah.
This just feels like that you actually have a plan. This is the weight loss journey. Before was you picking up a magazine and reading a couple of pages that had some good tips on how to cook your meatloaf with less fat in it, versus now you've got a trainer.
Right.
Now you're going to the gym and you feel this certain momentum. There is something to it. In all of the rebuilds that we've been through in the last decade for the Magic, none of them have involved Jalen Suggs. At no point have you ever had a guy where you feel like he might actually be that guy. If it's happened in the past, you've had to sell yourself.
Yes,
on
that's the
fact
part.
that Magic might have somebody. How long did Magic fans try and convince themselves that Aaron Gordon was going to be Scottie Pippen?
That's right.
I don't think you need to convince yourself very much to see where Jalen Suggs could turn into that guy. He was that guy in college. He was the most exciting, best player in college basketball last year, and now the Magic have him. There were people saying during the college basketball season, that's the guy that you want. And then as the evaluation process went along, then you start taking into account, let's not forget about the G Leaguers. So a couple of those guys got drafted, and Cade Cunningham, all of the physical tools that you want in today's NBA. And so he gets pushed down a little bit. It was a shock to all of us. He fell to 5. But this is the difference. I will not hear any of the comparisons to prior eras. This is a new day. This is a new team. And there's enthusiasm. And I think realistic enthusiasm, where in the past you had to generate it. Right now, it feels like it's just sort of made for you.
Listen, let me tell you a secret. And this is going to sound strange, but Magic fans should just be happy we have a team. With everything that's going on in Tampa right now, all of the winning that's happening in Tampa, all of the teams that are moving from here to there to try to find the success that they're looking for, whether it's in the NFL or Major League Baseball or the NBA, we should be embracing this team simply because they're here. And I don't mean that in terms of they're not required to win.
Put that on the program. Because we show up and play.
But like I said, that doesn't mean that they're not required to put together a team that's worthy of cheering for and winning. But you have to give this group that is now in charge an opportunity to do it their way and figure out whether their way is the one that's going to work.
There's going to be out there. We'll get our first look at Jamal Mosley, our first real look at him as a head coach in the NBA. So those are some of the things to watch for. It kind of has this first day of school vibe. I've got my Magic shirt on, I had it picked out, it laid out.
Oh yeah,
up in the morning.
Did you have it laid out on the chair beside you, beside the bed, so you know what you were wearing?
Absolutely, wearing my Magic underwear.
Okay, thank you for that.
Just kidding. I don't actually have Magic underwear, but if you want to picture that in your mind, that's your call.
Okay.
We're painting pictures here on the radio.
Gotcha.
We are coming out of the gate swinging, though, because we're going to Magic fans think here. Okay, you ready for this question?
Absolutely.
You could lock in one and only one of these as a real outcome for the Orlando Magic. Which would you choose? I'm going to give you 4 options, but only one can be a reality, and that means that all the others will not happen.
Okay.
Number 1 is the Magic make the playoffs in some way, whether it's sneaking in at the 10 seed, shock the planet, and they get in as a 5. I'm not guaranteeing you seeding, just that they are in.
You can stop right there.
So that's it. You don't
That's it. Like, what else matters?
All right,
okay,
we're
go
back
ahead.
with more. Number 2 is Jalen Suggs wins Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
Which means he had an outstanding season and is living up to his massive potential. Number 3 would be Mo Bamba becomes a must-start center. This is a guy that Jeff Weltman and John Hammond at the end of the year, they're sweating because they're like, crap, how much are we going to have to pay this guy? He clearly outplayed Wendell. I don't know where. I'm not giving you a player comparison for where he falls, if he's a superstar. Just the fact that the Magic have something with Mo Bamba. That's 3.
I'll take that a step further because in my head, that means he's got to be top 15 centers in the league.
Okay, let's say that at the end of the year, we look at Mo Bamba, just for comparison's sake. I said I wasn't going to do it a second ago, and I'm going to do it again. Let's say we look at him like he's Bam Adebayo.
All right. Okay.
One of the better big men in the league. Like better young big men in the league where you're like, damn, that's the kind of guy that you want. Number 4, the Magic secure the number 1 overall pick. In 2022. Which means they're so bad, they have all the lottery balls, and then they hit in the lottery. And Gonzaga's got another one of these guys, and he's an even higher touted prospect, and Chet Holmgren. I have no idea how good he actually is because I haven't watched him play, but we'll see him unfold this college basketball season for Gonzaga.
Can I rank these? I'll pick my answer, but then can I rank the rest of the answers?
So are you still going with the make the playoffs one as your top option?
Still going with the make the playoffs as my top option. If I have to pick out of those 4 things, I got to go with making the playoffs. Listen, Jalen Suggs making Rookie of the Year means nothing to me. If he does that, I am ecstatic for him.
Yeah.
It means nothing to me as a fan. It means nothing for the organization, truly, in my opinion, unless it translates into increased wins. I'm a team guy. These are team sports. Your individual accomplishments are just gravy on the salad. And who really wants gravy on their salad, right? So
no, you would send that right back.
So what I've got is the Magic make the playoffs is my answer. Bang, out the gate, number 1. Behind that, my second ranking is going to be Mo Bamba is a must-start center. Because if he is one of the premier big men in the league, that sets a tone for this organization that I think can not only be built on, but built around. And I don't mean building on him as a center, but in that scenario, I anticipate Jalen Suggs is still going to be a great talent. Just because he's not Rookie of the Year doesn't mean he's not going to be fantastic.
Very true.
So if you've given me one of the must-start centers in the league, and you've got a great guard behind him, and everybody else is doing pretty decent, and in my scenario that I've just created, we made the playoffs because that was my number 1 thing. Then
you're making multiple options happen, and that is against the rules.
So yeah, I would take making the playoffs. Then after that, I would put Mo Bamba as a must-start center, and then from there, I would go with the number 1 pick in the draft.
Okay, so you have Suggs winning Rookie of the Year is your 4th option.
Yes, it is. Only because, and I look at that because that's subjective. He could be the second best Rookie in the year, or he could deserve to win Rookie of the Year and not get it, or he could get it and really not have deserved it, and all that kind of stuff. So the Rookie of the Year, I don't care about that. Give me all the other 3 options.
Yeah, you have convinced me to not go with that option because that was my original thought.
I knew it was.
Of course, you know that.
I knew it was.
That is my entire goal of this season.
Yes,
is for Jalen Suggs to be that guy. I have gone back and I've looked at the last few Rookies of the year. LaMelo Ball won last year. Ja Morant the year before that. Luka Doncic in 2019. Ben Simmons in 2018. Malcolm Brogdon in 2017. Let's also not forget that Michael Carter-Williams won in 2014. And he is the 4th best point guard on the Magic right now.
Exactly.
So that is not an indicator, a full-blown 100% lock indicator that you're going to be a great player. It just means you're a rookie that had a good season. And there's a difference between those two. So even though that was where my eye was originally drawn, I'm not going to go there. Because if you told me you get to choose between that and the Magic get the number 1 overall pick in the draft.
I knew that was your number 2.
You got to go with that.
I knew that was your number 2. Your fascination with unproven talent precedes.
Number 1 overall pick, number 1 on the list. I would go Playoff berth number 2.
Wow.
Rookie of the year for Suggs 3, and Mo Bamba pops at 4. Because I don't need Mo Bamba to pop. They've got Wendell Carter, so he can pop. As long as they have a big man that they can roll forward with.
So you've got to give me a very brief synopsis of why you would rather have the number 1 pick in the draft next year, knowing that it could bust and you never know what's going to happen in the draft, or being in the playoffs this year.
Because I don't think they would do anything in the playoffs this year. This year isn't about making the playoffs. This year is about building. I think they can do that and still, at the end of the year, land the number 1 overall pick and be in such an amazing position where it is supposed to be one of those drafts where it's really heavy at the top. And we'll learn about those guys as the season goes along. We're not going to pretend outside of Chet Holmgren, I know who those guys are.
Go ahead, run off a list of your top
I'm just going to not do that. Usually, there are a couple of guys that we fall in love with over the year and say, that's the guy that you want. Imagine if Jalen Suggs is as good as we think he can be. He doesn't win Rookie of the Year, but he's really good. And then you get to pair him with the guys that already are established on the roster and the best player coming out of college or international or the G League, wherever. You get your pick of the litter. I think that's an outstanding scenario. So it make for kind of a tough season. But if you gave me number 1 overall, no question, I can't turn away from that. This team is in the infancy of a rebuilding stage. That's just too valuable to pass up if I have all of my options. So what's the better option? You go into a play-in game and you lose and your season's done and everybody feels better about themselves?
No, the purpose of the reason I choose being in the playoffs is because now you've made it to a plateau that you can then continue to build on. You're no longer building from scratch. Right now, we're building from scratch. We've got flour and water and a trip to the grocery store. That's what we have.
And I want one more filet mignon to throw in my stew.
That's a terrible stew. Filet mignon, flour, and water is not tasty. And so you've got to move that forward and put yourself, if you get to the playoffs, you build off of having a playoff berth, which has the ability to get you to that 5th seed, 6th seed, 4th seed. You still do get a pick in the draft. It's just not a number 1. You might end up with a number 5 pick again, which is no problem. Take that number 5 pick.
Well, it worked out for the Magic this year. I don't know that it's worked out for them in the past. This just seems like the rare year where they could land the 5th pick and they still get a guy. Right now, early on, we've had hundreds of votes on Twitter on this already. Suggs winning Rookie of the Year is leading with 36% of the vote.
Crazy. I can tell these people follow you.
It was me that threw the poll out. Bubba Pops is in the 2nd. Playoff berth is 3rd. And you'll be very proud of our listening audience on Twitter. 18% of the vote at the bottom is the number 1 overall pick in 2022. People are about over that. You can text in, let us know what you think. 50857 on our Academy Sports and Outdoors text line. Coming up next, the football season has been insanely fun, but which is